What's good? The Job Guys back with you again. Nick and Ryan. Happy New Year, everybody.
Happy New Year.
Hope 2021 is better for you than 2020 was for all of us. So we are going to get this sucker going today with hopefully a positive vibe, Nick. It is the new year, so we said,
Happy Chinooka.
How about some 2021 New Year wrestling resolutions? So each of us have come up with 5, and we actually do have a couple that are pretty similar. 5 resolutions that we would like to see in pro wrestling straight across the board. Things that will make the product better, things that will make the fans happier, and, outside of the obvious. There's a few that are just plain obvious. Scripted promos. Okay, we all want that to go away, so we're not going to do things like that. But we've got 5 of them here that we think will make the product better, that we would like to see, and that's all across the board. WWE, Raw, SmackDown, NXT, AEW, even Impact now starting to be a player a little bit again due to the Kenny Omega angle. And I know you have something in particular that you want to drop with that. So, Nick, without further ado, let's jump right into it. You're number 1. What do you got for 2021, your resolution to make the business a little bit better?
Well, I broke mine down. I kind of got a couple categories for the 5. I kind of got 3 that are wrestler specific and 2 that are more product specific, if you will. So the first one is a wrestler specific, and he's right behind me. Let's see Kofi Kingston as a heel, a solo heel by himself, an end to the New Day. I don't care if the match takes place at WrestleMania or SummerSlam. I know they're on different rosters. Kofi heel, Big E face. I want to see the match. Maybe Xavier could be a managerial position to Kofi or Big E. I don't know, whoever they feel it would work with better. But I think this would be, I just want to see it for the year. Let it go. If it bombs, I could be completely wrong. Maybe he's a terrible heel. But that would be a New Year's resolution, I think, that would make wrestling at least interesting to see it, because we've never seen it.
Yeah. Well, Nick, look at their faces behind you.
You got it.
They all look incredibly bored, especially Big E right behind. And I think that sums up the New Day. They are a
That's why I chose it.
Yeah, they've been a good act for almost, 7 years now or whatever it is. But 7 years now. It's run its course. Like, we're seeing Big E finally get his push. He's the IC champ. People have been calling for that for a while. But, dude, you and I, for like 5 years, and we've talked about it here before, have been calling for Kofi Kingston to get a heel push because he can talk.
Yes.
And for whatever reason, he seems to be the one guy they don't let talk in that group as much as the others. We saw him as a face. People loved him as the world champ. Now let's see him. Well, Big E's the big man now. He gets the singles push. He's the guy everybody likes, the IC belt. He gets jealous or something. Something happens. And again, I know they're on different shows. I would absolutely love to see this guy as a heel, see what he's got. And because this is stale. This is stale. And again, this would automatically give you a guy with some, he's already got some cachet, and people want to see him. Let's go for it and change the character up a little bit. Make him the heel.
He already starts as a high mid-card guy, I believe, right when he turns. He would be, because he's a former world champion, legendary tag team champion. And this would just be something great. And like you said, Ryan, this is just stale. It was great. I loved it when it first came out. You liked it. Yep. We all like it. And they've had some great moments and great tag matches over the years. But I mean, again, and I think I've said this on one of your shows before, this, even in the 80s era, they would have been together for a long time. This is a 2 show a week, 1 pay-per-view a month era.
Yes.
It's rough to stay together and keep it fresh and hot. Yeah, let's get him fighting Big E or turning on Big E instead of throwing pancakes.
And we have always, because we're old enough to go back to the original WrestleMania. Now we're sitting here on 37, but you and I are old enough to go back this far, and we always use the WrestleMania analogy or comparison. This is like the New Day fighting together on every WrestleMania 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, and 7. What other tag team has done that? And it's a credit to them for keeping it together that long, because you're doing something right. But at the same time,
there's few single wrestlers who have went without
exactly.
switching a gimmick.
Hogan and Tito are the only ones who were at like the first 8 WrestleManias.
Right.
You know, and maybe 9, because Tito may have fought in a dark match at 9. But and people are like, you suck, get out of here. And even Tito changed. Tito became El Matador or whatever. Right. You know, so like it's been a minute, and it's been too long. Yeah, I'm with you, Nick. It's time to go. And that kind of leads into my number one, because you said, or one of mine, it's not necessarily number one, but you know, you said he'd automatically be high mid card. I'd say no, he's not. He would automatically be main event, because my number one thing for the year, I hope that they can build more stars, because they really have none. You look at this roster, both shows and AEW, the roster is top heavy. You've got, you know, Roman, Drew. Who else?
I'm here, and you're next.
You know, maybe AJ, maybe Daniel Bryan, probably not up there. Then on the other show, Kenny Omega just got there. He's the guy people have wanted to see. He just got there. So, and who else? Cody? Jon Moxley? Then who? Massive drop between here and here. Massive drop. And there's no one, like, we've seen it with numerous guys. The Murder Hawk Monster goes up against Jon Moxley, and you're like, Kevin Owens right now is feuding with Roman. Been decent, been pretty good, great promos, good matches, but everybody's like, this guy doesn't have a prayer. There's nobody to contend with these guys. And, you know, what makes a great top guy? Well, having somebody to go up against him. Hogan, all those years, he had Piper, then he had Bundy, then he had Andre, and then all the guys in between, and Macho. And you had a great guy to go against him. These guys don't. How do you do it? Well, you have to make better storylines. You have to make better storylines. And they've proven now that they can do it. Because for years we've said the storylines are terrible, but they've proven they can do it now with Roman Reigns. This guy went from barely anybody on earth liked him to, oh my gosh, he's the hottest thing in years. So we know they can do it, and that's a credit to Roman as well. But you look when wrestling has boomed, the two huge boom periods, Hogan in the modern era, Hogan, and even going back, Bruno, Gorgeous George, whoever.
That jabroni brown blood.
Austin era. It has become big because there are stars. And then there are storylines. There is either one or a couple amazing storylines. Austin was awesome, and then he had that storyline with Vince, and that's what set everything over the top.
I think
Hogan, the same thing. You gotta have stars, but you can't just have one. You gotta have a bunch. And right now, they've got one or two, and then nobody in the middle. Like if Drew and Roman are A's, are there any B's? Are they like B minuses? You know, that drop off is huge. You got to get a better storyline to get us to care the way you got us to care about Drew, the way you got us to care about Roman. Because Roman, as good as he is, he's only as good as who he's fighting. Yep. And you can argue Jey Uso in that. Who cared about Jey Uso? Nobody. Not as a single, they sure didn't. Now all of a sudden, we started to care about him, and then you cared about the match, and you cared about the feud. You got to do that with more people.
Yep.
Leading into our number two, Nick. We'll stay right there because both of our number 2 is the same thing. It is about that man. It's about the tribal chief. Go ahead, Nick. Start us out.
I have it saved for my background now. This is the main focus. Please, for 2021, for the wrestling fans, we need Roman and The Rock at WrestleMania. And I went a little further, and I want Roman to win this match clean at WrestleMania.
I'm the champion.
Defeat The Rock and ride off and run 2021. Maybe the Usos, Samoa Joe, join him in this stable. He elevates them as well.
The tribal chief.
Throw the IC or US straight. I don't know which one's on which show. Back on Samoa Joe, the Usos get the tag titles, bringing credibility. Let them run 2021. And I'll tell you, I just want to see it for as long as I can because I think there's a chance the fans may flip Roman. If this continues to go, keeps getting cooler and cooler by the week.
They may have already. If we had fans, they may have already.
So you want to run with this, but I think if he ran 2021, and I mean his shoulders don't touch the mat, he does not tap. I don't care if it's a tag match.
No.
Someone else in the match can lose.
Yep.
He does not lose non-title matches. He can lose by DQ or he can lose by countout. That's fine, just not too many of them. But he gets dethroned at next year's WrestleMania by someone else that you've took the year of 2021 to build up. Maybe, I don't know who that could be, but Big E or something. I don't know how it happens, but that's what I want to see.
And you're going to give me what I want.
We still haven't seen Roman heel Seth face.
Yep.
We haven't seen Roman heel AJ face, Daniel Bryan. You could have a match throughout the year, a feud there from their past transgressions that a lot of the internet has picked up on. Just so I feel like there's so many more matches. I want to continue the era of Roman, the tribal chief, for 2021.
You're going to give me what I want.
Yes, I am totally with you. I think the percentage chance that Rock is at Mania is probably 0.1, and there's rumors out there that Vince says it's too early and they want it to be in front of fans, which I understand, but we don't know what's going to happen 15 months from now. What's going to happen 15 months from now? The iron is hot now. You have to strike when the iron is hot. It's hot now.
If
you would have told me,
I say the fans could flip him, but he could also, and again, I love Roman. He could also fizz out.
Yes.
This could die out.
Well, look how quick he became huge overnight.
Mm-hmm.
It could go away very quickly. And if you keep doing feuds that nobody really cares about, it's going to fizzle out. It's going to get boring. You got to do it now and then let him run with it. I don't want to see him run this entire year, beat Bryan, beat Owens currently, beat Seth, beat all the dudes you just said, and then lose to The Rock at 38. I do not want to see that at all.
Give me what I want.
I want to see him beat The Rock, then keep rolling and rolling and rolling. Do what they were supposed to do with Roman and Brock Lesnar. Brock Lesnar beats The Undertaker. He then beats John Cena in 2 minutes at SummerSlam.
Summerfest.
He was the greatest champion ever. That whole thing was so that Roman could then beat Lesnar at 31. So Roman could be the guy who beat the Taker and Cena and whoever. That's what he was supposed to be. That's what they need to do here. Roman beats The Rock. He is the head of the table. He is the greatest champion ever. Blah, blah, blah. And then whoever at 38 beats him. Big E or whoever that is. Now, who knows what The Rock's schedule is? Who knows all of that? He could be making movies. He could be hurt. He could have insurance that says he can't wrestle. I don't know what that deal is. But yes, I am with you in agreement 10,000%. Roman needs to run 2021. He needs to run it and keep running it. Hopefully
Ryan,
that's what we see.
I'm telling you, not just the chance of phasing out, and I understand, and people are not wrong in saying it would be better with fans.
Everything's better with
100%.
fans.
Yes, there's no argument there. But we got to think about this. I'd ask anybody to do this. Look how WWE books. Do you think Roman Reigns is going to get pinned at some point this year? As soon as that happens, that takes away from this match a little bit.
Right. Sure.
So this needs to happen this year at Wrestle. The biggest put off you could maybe do it would be SummerSlam.
And Summerfest, whatever that is.
I just feel this match is too big for this is WrestleMania right here. This is a passing of the torch, if you would. This could be The Rock's last match, and I think people would be happy with it.
It has to be. I mean, the guy's 50, right? Or close to it. You take The Rock whenever you can get him. If it's at Backlash, you take him because that's, you take him whenever you can get him. But yeah, I mean, it's WrestleMania. Of course, that's when you want to see it. But in no way am I comparing Roman to these people, because someone out there will go, oh, you said Roman is Andre the Giant.
The head of the table.
No. What made that Hogan match? Andre's undefeated for 15 years. Oh my gosh, can Hogan beat him? All the Goldberg streak, go up and down the list. What makes people, the Undertaker streak? Shawn Michaels beat the Undertaker 100 times. Before their match at WrestleMania 25, the Undertaker had never beaten Shawn Michaels. That was what made that match interesting. He'd never lost to him, ever. Oh, but it's WrestleMania. So now the Undertaker's invincible all of a sudden. That's what makes things. If this dude goes on a run of a year and a half or whatever he's at now, 9 months by the time Mania comes, without getting pinned, that's what will make the match that the guy can't lose. That's what he can't lose. Yes, you are absolutely right. If Kevin Owens pins him, well, then what do I care if The Rock pins him?
I would even sacrifice The Rock. Let him draw 30 in the Rumble. He works for 3 seconds and throws I'll even give him the Rumble to get this match.
I'll give him anything.
Yes.
I'll give him
That's Rumble's my favorite pay-per-view, man, but I give it to you, man. And he could just come in, throw someone, work the one match, just put over Roman. It would be such a big win for him. I mean, bigger than The Undertaker, bigger than him defeating Lesnar. This would be.
It couldn't be bigger. It can't be bigger.
This is his Hogan Andre right here, or his Flair Harley Race, whatever you want to call it.
This is wrestling's Hogan Andre right now.
Yes.
And here's the thing, and I'm torn on it, because immediately when this tribal chief thing started, the first thing I thought of, and probably everybody else on earth did too, but I hit you up immediately and went, dude, are we getting The Rock? Are we getting The Rock at WrestleMania? Is that what we're getting? And then everybody else on earth also joined in. It's at the point to me, though, if it's not The Rock, I don't care. And it goes back to my number one thing where they have no other stars. Who is this guy going to fight if he doesn't fight The Rock? Now, there are dudes that I think would be interesting that I would like, and it'd probably be a good match. But it's nowhere close to what this is. And I, as much as I love this angle, and it's the best thing I've seen in 10 years, if it isn't him, I'm going to be disappointed no matter who it is. The other ones that are possible: Seth Rollins, Daniel Bryan, Brock Lesnar. I would say those three are the top three. If you have somebody else,
I'll take your middle two.
Well, yeah, I was going to say, give me who, if anybody, what could even approach what The Rock is. Even I will say Daniel Bryan would probably be my number one, but even that,
it's an A+ main event down to a B main event. If that's it. That's the bottom line. It goes from an A+, one of the possible biggest main events in WrestleMania history. To an unforgettable, probably, I mean, nobody's saying out here Rollins and Roman, Bryan and Roman would put on a great match under normal circumstances because of their backgrounds and history with each other. The angle would probably be watchable if they do it. It'll be interesting.
And hopefully they bring some shoot into that. Like it would be, I was, you stole my thunder. I was supposed to be the man and they wanted you. Well, I am the man now. Look where you're at. You're doing whatever you're doing. That hopefully would be the angle on that, bringing some real life into it from.
Let's save it for SummerSlam.
Yeah, as good as that would be, and it'd be pretty good.
It would. I'm not knocking it. Yeah, it would be good.
Your hopes got so high. It's like that movie that everybody tells you is awesome, and you're the last one to see it, and then you finally go see it because everybody pumped it up so much. You're like, it was okay. Because everybody, like, you get so excited for possible The Rock, and then you get Seth Rollins. It wouldn't be the same.
Ryan, the best I can tell you, this would be the difference to me between Hogan, Andre, and Bret Hart, Yokozuna.
Yikes.
I mean,
it's a drop-off.
It's a huge – I mean, I love Bret Hart. Yoko was the premier big man, the guy who had run the show for, he was a big heel. But it's just –
not the same.
It's not the same, or maybe even any other – it's a quality top – are we talking maybe a 5 ever main event match at WrestleMania?
I would say without question.
So from that to a match that'll probably just be forgotten at WrestleMania. I mean, we'll remember it as wrestling fans,
sure.
But the world won't. Or I mean, I hate to say the word, like everyone's, but the pop culture won't,
right?
Remember it.
And this isn't his fault. As good as Brian is, and he's still good. Think about how long ago that was now. Right. This is WrestleMania 37. He was WrestleMania 30. Once again, we're at that 7-year gap. He was WrestleMania 30. It's a long time ago, and it's not his fault. He got hurt, and who knows what would have happened had he not gotten hurt. But it's over. It's over.
There's fans watching right now that have no clue about that.
Yeah. And he can still work, and he's still good, and I'm sure.
I like Daniel Bryan.
Yeah,
I really like Daniel Bryan.
But it's not the same. It's not. The ship has sailed. All right, so that's enough on that. Number 3, Nick, go right ahead.
Well, this one I brought my background for again. I guess I'm going to go, and this one I don't know if people are even going to care, but I do.
Oh, there he is.
This guy right here.
Wow.
All right. Ryan, you introduced me to this guy. Because again, I used to be, as you know, a guy that watched Impact Wrestling all the way up till
TNA.
TNA, right. I kind of quit watching right before the Aces and Eights stuff. That's when it kind of fell off, and I was there through the Hogan Bischoff.
Oh, you didn't like Aces and Eights, huh?
Not at all. No,
oh,
sir.
Okay.
And I missed him when he came through. And you and some other people had seen some stuff by him and told me, he's good. And he came to the WWE and couldn't have been worse, right? I mean, this guy, I did.
He was like, Barry Horowitz.
I text you going, this is the guy? Like, what did you see? I never wanted to see this guy again. Like, I'm like, this guy is a waste. He's a big meathead. Well, he got released by WWE and showed back up in Impact earlier this year. And I saw what you guys were talking about. This guy is sweet. EC3 can cut a promo. He looks great. He's got the face look of a wrestler too, and body look too. He can perform. He's good in the ring. He's not the best. I'm not saying that, but he's not going to hamper you.
No.
This guy, I want him in AEW. I want AEW to go out there, look at him, AEW, sign this guy. And don't bring him in and put him against Jon Moxley in his first match, please.
Yeah, in job right away.
Yes. Bring him in. He can fight by murdering Jungle Boy or something. I don't know. But this guy, I feel, would give AEW – he's a former Impact champion. So he does have credibility from their crowd. I know I'm not the only one. That a lot of people do like this guy. Not when I mean a lot of real wrestling fans. He's not known in the regular pop culture of the world, but I think he'd be great in AEW, man. And he brings a big guy. You know, AEW's lacking on big guys. You got enough Sammys, you got enough Darbys, you know, guys of that size. This guy gives you a quality big man that, Brian, I'm hoping, this is fingers crossed, AEW, go out and get EC3.
And he can talk more than anything. And there are other big guys that they have can't freaking put a sentence together.
They're all meatheads. Yes.
Yeah. So this dude would oh man, he definitely would. You know, and this has been said a million times, and I'll say it again here. I just can't believe Vince didn't see this dude and cream his pants. Like I don't know how. I would have thought that he would see, and he doesn't have this charisma, but just the look in the body. I can't believe Vince didn't go, that's my new John Cena, just based on the way he looks.
Right.
And he has charisma, but he's not Cena. But I couldn't believe it. And he was gone before you knew it. He's gone. So I'm with you. I don't know if he's like some megastar, superstar even.
I don't know that he will be.
He's a player. That's for sure.
I think he definitely would make AEW's product a lot better and a lot more credibility to their title division if they used him right.
Can we be done with the cinematic matches? My number 3 resolution of the year. 2020 was the year of the cinematic match, and I understand you kind of had to do it there, and they were in a pinch, especially at WrestleMania, right when the pandemic hit, and they're like, crap, what are we going to do here? I don't know. I don't know how we're going to do anything, what we're going to do. We don't have to do that anymore. They have figured out what they are doing. They have figured out the Thunderdome, and AEW has figured out that we don't need to do cinematic matches. This is not WrestleMania. We don't have 3 weeks notice. What are we going to do for our big show? Run down those matches or go back and just think about them. They're terrible.
Awful.
They are terrible. I was not a fan of the Boneyard match, but that match is Savage Steamboat compared to the rest of them that we got throughout the year.
Oh, yes, it was.
You know, my gosh, if I had to, I'd take the Boneyard match. As much as I crapped on that when it happened, I would take that 1,000 times before I took another swamp match, another Money in the Bank match, another whatever that match was with the Street Profits and the Viking Raiders that ended up in the dumpster and they're using the Force to grab donuts or whatever they were doing. Or any of Matt Hardy's matches, I would take that 1,000,000 times. Any of the Fiend's matches that he was in that have anything to do with any of that. We figured it out. Let's be done with them. I don't want to see them anymore. They're terrible. Move on.
I got nothing more to say on that, Ryan. You hit the nail. These things, and I'll give it to AEW because I thought they did better out-of-ring stuff than WWE did during the pandemic.
No question.
They were doing a little bit better. Not great, but better. The Bubbly Bunch was cool. You could still do things like that.
Yeah.
But as far as these cinematic matches where we're supposed to be our popcorn in hand at the nearest theater, watching on the edge of our seats, that's not wrestling.
The edge of my toilet seat is what I was sitting on for the most of those matches. All right, moving on to our 4th New Year's wrestling resolution. And once again, Nick, we have the same exact thing. And this may have been number 1 on our list, if not number 2, along with the I like how you were sitting right there. You matched up perfectly. It was, there you go. Yeah, right in the middle. The nut jobs. There we go. It's those guys right there. We have the same exact thing for number 4. What's with all these satanic, evil, nightmare gimmicks, Nick? What are we doing here? Why do we have 1,000 of these?
Ryan, I put this up, and I know these guys are gone. These guys get shredded, torched on any freaking message board, conversation in a living room during a pay-per-view, conversation at the bar.
Especially that guy directly behind you.
Yes. But here's the thing. They're no different than The Fiend, Aleister Black, Abaddon, the Alien Girl. You know, they're not different. They're
Rosemary, Alexa right now, Karrion Kross, the Dark Order, the Nightmare Collective, Luther. Need I continue?
Yep. That it's just unreal how many there are. And we look back, they've never been good. When we pass through time and future generations look back, no one looks back and go, yeah, man, the one match I didn't see was the Boogeyman and Cena. If we only would have gotten that match, you know, or Shango and Hogan. Man, they just weren't in the same area at the same time, man. Too bad. No one wants to see these guys. The gimmick looks cheesy. Again, another thing that makes the product look bad. You lose viewers with people like this. You do not gain viewers with people like this.
You're seeing it on Raw.
Yes. And this stuff is what makes wrestling, and I hate to use this term, but uncool, if you will. People, there is no way when this goes back to reality, I would not put the Fiend on in the dorm room. Like, I mean, you're going to get booted out of that room, not invited to the next party, probably kicked out of the university if the dean finds out you're watching it. You know.
Oh, excuse me, you got a 34 on your ACT? Sorry, you like the Fiend. See ya.
Get out of here. We don't take Fiend lovers here.
Yeah, you're not admitted to Columbia. I'm sorry.
We need an end to this. People spitting up blood, people vanishing, people
lit on fire.
Murder each other. It's wrestling. We don't need people swinging swords and hatchets and lighting people on fire only to have them come back the next week.
Right.
You know, I mean, or tweet us from the dead.
From their cocoon.
Yeah, from their cocoon. That's true. But it can't get worse than it is, but it seemingly always does. This stuff, and if you like it, God bless you. You know, and maybe there is a place to have one, or can we just dial it freaking back though? You know, I mean, it just seems like the indies are taking over mainstream here as far as some of the characters, and there's a reason they're called the indies. Is because it takes place in high school gyms, in mom's backyard. You know, it's not for the majority of the audience. I don't know, Ryan. You go ahead and take this. I hate
you're exactly right. The first thing you said, and that's a great background. I've been saying the Papa Shango Fiend thing from day one. This guy, and you would think, if you look at a list of worst gimmicks of all time, like Papa Shango's in the top 3 every time, if not number 1. Oh, it's so stupid. He made black, whatever it was, pour out of the Ultimate Warrior's head, not a Mean Gene's arm, and all this. How's that any different than what the Fiend is doing? How's that any different than his stupid rabbit show and things get lit on fire and burned down all the time? And now he has been burned. And now we have a cliffhanger from Monday. Is Alexa dead? I don't know. Let me check the obituaries real quick to see if she's dead. Like, tune in Monday to see if Randy Orton committed murder on live television.
Still going to be holding the torch over her, the match. Pause for a week.
You know, and guys disappearing. Guys, we have mentioned a million times shooting lightning and fire and things out of each other's hand. Well, then why don't you, unless you have the aim of a stormtrooper, why are you not lighting these people on fire and the match is over? Like, it's ridiculous. And yet this is cool, but Papa Shango isn't? I don't understand that at all. It's stupid. It breaks. It takes you out of what this is. This is wrestling. It is fake. We've said it 1,000 times. It is this world. Horror movies are this world. You can't mix them. But the excuse is, and this is, part of the reason I have a problem with The Undertaker, it's The Undertaker's fault.
All Elite Scooby-Doo.
It's The Undertaker's fault because it worked with him. Now, everybody thinks that it works with everything, and it doesn't. Undertaker was special. He was one of a kind. And really, the last 10 to 15 years, and then even going back to the Biker Taker in 19 years now, he wasn't that character. He wasn't the, I'm going to kill you, I'm going to disappear, I'm going to make things light on fire guy. He was kind of just the guy.
Happy birthday, Andrew. I hope you have a great day.
The only reason that worked, it was the best gimmick in a bad character era.
Yeah.
If The Undertaker would have
those guys behind you.
Yes.
1993, 92, Papa Shango and Damien Demento, who most people probably don't even know that's Damien Demento right there.
That is why again, Undertaker is, he is great, whatever, legend. But his gimmick still is, I put it with these guys. It's cheesy. It's the worst. I think we can all admit the era, mid-90s, early 90s, the worst era of gimmicks in wrestling history. They just pulled some really bad stuff out, and The Undertaker happened to be the best of the bad stuff.
And let me, Nick, I'm going to finish on this. This just tells you how stupid this is. I'm on Abaddon's Twitter page right now.
She has a Twitter?
Oh, yeah. It's excellent.
Of course.
It's excellent, dude. Abaddon's Twitter, because that's what zombies and dead people do. They tweet all the time. Mm-hmm. So Abaddon's Twitter bio says, I am Abaddon. Thank you. I saw that on your name. I am Abaddon, living dead girl, AEW. I can, all capitals, never die. Hashtag AEW. So she's corporate. She's the corporate zombie because she's letting everybody know the hashtag on top of it. Yeah. She's very important. Oh, and then she has a link to her Pro Wrestling Tees page. So anyway, I am Abaddon, living dead girl, AEW. What have we been hearing about the Fiend? What has Alexa been saying about the Fiend the past couple of weeks? You can't kill him. What has he said with his cocoon thing? I can't die. So he can't die either. Then let me go to a tweet that Scarlett Bordeaux sent out on New Year's Eve. It's a picture of Karrion Kross laying on a broken table with his hand up in the air, and she's sitting there. And it says, every time he falls, a newer, deadlier version rises. You're all the same thing. You can't kill me. I'm not trying to kill you. I'm trying to pin you.
Yeah, why are we killing?
Wrestling.
Why are we killing? I don't understand.
I didn't know this was a blood sport. I didn't know we were fighting to the death here. I didn't know this was human cockfighting. I thought we were just trying to pin people and win championships. All of a sudden, I'm trying to kill everybody? I'm not trying to kill you. I'm trying to win the title. Right. What are we doing? Every one of these. I'm going to Bray Wyatt's page right now. Here he is in his cocoon. The thing about fire is it does what it pleases. I burn. You burn. We all burn. Eventually. Oh, and then the tweet right before that, December 17th, 2020. It's all a circle. One ending is just another beginning. The angel
so in the
with the burnt
unit,
wings.
He has access to Twitter.
Oh, he's not done. Yeah. Oh, he's dead. He can tweet in the cocoon that he's in right now, rebuilding it. Yeah. They have Wi-Fi in the cocoon. I don't know if there's Wi-Fi in there. But this tweet is not done, my friend. One ending is just another beginning. The angel with the burnt wings is waving you on home. You can't kill it. Hashtag WWE TLC. Let's see if Rosemary has a tweet. Oh, Rosemary does have a Twitter. It is Rosemary, comma, the Demon Assassin. Let's see what the Demon Assassin has to say. Death dealer of the shadow and heir apparent to the undead realm. Another person who's undead. Once bonded to Russellmania, account run primarily by pride. One of 7 shards of our demon soul. I'm a demon. Get out of here. Number 5. New Year's wrestling resolution. What do you want to see happen in 2021? Because well, actually, can we go back to 4? You know who does want to kill you? I do. I want you gone. Permanently. That's what I want. So there is someone that wants to kill you. Me. I want your gimmick killed. Not you personally. I'm sure you're very nice people. Your gimmick can go, though. Number 5, Nick. I see you got a new picture.
Number 5, and I'm not taking a shot at them. I know I take one every show, but well, they do suck. But it's the Young Bucks. I'm sorry. But not them particular. The AEW Tag division needs to calm it down, needs to relax, needs to normalize. I think you even called me earlier this year. Your one of your family members happened to sit down with you and watch an AEW program, and we're completely and these are people that understand wrestling, what it was through the 80s, 90s, and 2000s. And they were like, they could not wrap their heads around, is this a free-for-all? Is this a tornado-style match? And you just basically said, no, this
no
is
rules. Is what are there no rules? Is what she said.
No, it was just a tag match in AEW. There are no rules. There's people flying all over, and this is what, the Meltzer driver, yeah. Meltzer driver. If you can't see, he's going to hit him into a chair and probably kick out because they hit each other with nuclear bombs. Again, there's no rules. They're all over the ring. It just looks so chaotic. And I mean, I guess if you're going to do this, make all your tag team is just tornado rules then. The whole thing is. I don't think I'd like that.
Because Jim Ross has called them out so many times. Yeah. They have changed it. It's like a 20 count now instead of a 10 count, getting in and out and around. Because they had to, because Jim Ross kept calling them out on it.
Well, because they tag and they're in the ring for 3 minutes. Come on, then change the rule. But I think it would benefit. You claim to have the greatest tag team in the greatest tag team division in the industry right now. That's what I keep hearing. Then make us all see it. Maybe they do, but every match right now is the exact same. Chaos happens. Nuclear moves take place.
The Nagasaki driver.
Yeah, they kick out of most of them, and then at the end, something wins. And then both teams are supposed to walk away feeling better because it was a great worked match. I'm sorry. I would love to see this normalized, and I think it would help too to differentiate the tag teams in AEW. Especially you've got some of these new ones that I've seen just come in over the last couple weeks or months or so. They're all wrestling the same, so it's hard to get what's going on inside that ring. Give everybody a persona, or some sort of style. The only one I really see is FTR. Has
They're the only one.
What's that?
They're the only one.
Yeah, that has that little bit, I would say, older school, slower style. And again, please don't. I don't want to see every team with FTR's style either. Right. I just want to see a little bit of normality, a little bit of relaxation in this tag division because sometimes you're wasting major moves.
Not sometimes. Not sometimes. All the time.
All the time.
Every move is a clothesline or a punch now. Yeah, every move. We've said that about Omega. He does a dive in the main event. Well, we've seen 7 dives already on the night.
And I was going to ask you, pay attention, because I've been watching WWE, and we've all in AEW. they've stopped. Maybe I'm missing it. They're not saying finishing moves anymore. They're saying signature for all of them. I try to listen on it again. Maybe I'm missing this.
No, you might be
viewers
right.
out there, let us know. I think they're calling them all signature moves now because they're not finishers.
They
They're
never
just
finish.
a move they use a lot, signature, that people kick out of before they pin them with it after they hit them 5 or 6 times.
Right. No, absolutely, man. I'm with you 1,000%. I think what they can do most of the time is amazing. It's awesome. But when the match is 110 miles per hour for 20 minutes, you use all your ammo. And then what am I supposed to look forward to at the next match? And every match is the same, so it becomes normalized, and every match turns into another Hogan match where you hear, all he does is he clotheslines in the corner, 3 punches, bootleg drop, this, that, the other. That's what this becomes. You normalize your awesome stuff. Then you have another tag team match in the next match, and then those guys do the same exact stuff. So it's not as good. I saw a match last Wednesday on AEW where there was 4 guys, or at least 3, in the ring, and the one dude, the illegal guy, I can't remember the team, I'm sorry, because it's all the same, because it all runs together. He was in the ring for 2 minutes at least, dealing on this guy, and they're double teaming him. He gets out of the ring and immediately tags back in. You were just in the ring for 2 minutes. What do you need to tag for? It was insanity. He was in there for 2 minutes, felt the need to then get out and tag himself back in. What?
I think it would. I can't. Every match can't be Savage Steamboat or HBK Angle. Otherwise, you don't have those matches. Every match, they're all the same.
It's another reason why I'm not as high on the Taker HBK WrestleMania 25 match.
Yes.
Because that match was nothing but people kicking out of finishers. And everybody loved it so much. I think, this is just me, I've never heard anybody say this before. I think everybody is trying to recreate that match every single night. Because it's been called the best match in Mania history and whatever, and it's 2 of the greatest of all time. I think everybody is trying to recreate that match, and they're trying to recreate when Michaels kicked out of the finish, out of the tombstone, and Taker's head fell down and he made that whatever, like the shocked face, when his face was on Michaels' chest. Everyone is trying to recreate that finish. Everybody. Or that sequence.
Every match, though.
And that's the problem. They're trying to do it every match. And when I saw it last week 5 times, and now I see it again this week 5 times, not a big deal. It's not a big deal. That's what in my mind, that's what everyone in their head, whether they admit it or believe it or even realize it, they're trying to recreate WrestleMania 25. And it doesn't work for me, brother. My last one, and it goes along that lines. Great segue by me, accidentally. I would hope that fans, and this is fans, this has nothing to do with the company. I would hope that fans will start liking things based on what they actually see. Not what they want to see, not what they hope, not what they've built up in their own head is good. I would hope that they actually see and like or dislike based on what is actually on television. We mentioned The Fiend, and we could rip on that all day long. I think people just like that because they want to like it, because they did like Bray Wyatt 7 years ago. They liked Bray Wyatt. He hasn't been good since then, but they're really hoping that he gets back to what he was originally, when it was original, when it first came out. There's a million examples. You can go the opposite with these people that still don't think Roman's any good. They just are refusing to allow themselves to go, you know what? I was wrong about this. Guy's doing pretty good. You don't have to think it's the greatest thing ever, but there's people that refuse to allow. And the same thing goes with the wrestling war. You're either on this side or you're on this side. And nothing AEW does can make certain people go, yeah, that wasn't the greatest. Everything is amazing. You know, just because it's not WWE doesn't make it good. See what you see. Bayley is a great example. We talked about her on our year-end awards show. You and I hated Bayley beyond belief when she first came up. We did not watch NXT, so we didn't know that whole build, that the people that did watch NXT saw that build. And apparently it was great. We didn't see it. All we saw was this girl who on the main show, they never showed us or told us anything about her. She was just a goody-goody, like, girl acted like she was 7 years old. So we thought it was dumb because we didn't know. Well, she's your favorite female wrestler now, and I think she's
in the entire world.
Yeah, I wouldn't go that far, but I think she's good.
She's my favorite in the world.
I think she's done great.
Her than anybody else.
I would rather watch Alexa Bliss still than anybody else, but
not in this current gimmick. I hate this. Yeah,
no,
that's the problem.
No,
that's why. Bliss, obviously, yes, but
another example. We love Alexa Bliss. We've been saying that since the day she showed up. This is trash.
Bogus!
I think she's the greatest female wrestler as far as I would say ever, because I think mic work, you know how much that means to me. I think Bliss is the best ever a female on the mic. I don't think she's terrible in the ring. But, yeah, I'm with you. She's trash right now. And, Ryan, right now, too, I think it's because wrestling is so bad. You got a lot of don't talk about my mama, if that makes sense to you, come out with this. When people come at the Fiend or they come at these things, wrestling, our fans, and I feel it a little too, we have been pushed back again into this corner where wrestling is not cool. Wrestling is not mainstream. It's childish. It's cheesy, and it's because of what we said on this show. But a lot of things, but it makes people defensive. Mm-hmm. And I think they, rather than just say, "Yeah, the Fiend does freaking suck," people are like, "No, man, he's good. I got to defend my rep. I got to defend my product. I got to defend this." You know, and I think that, and maybe I'm wrong. But
no, you're absolutely right, because Alexa's a great example. What she's doing currently blows. Bayley is a great example. She used to blow. Now she's great. We can go far back as the NWO. First couple of years of the NWO were incredible. No one likes the NWO more than you and I. Shoot, our theme music is still the NWO music. But we are willing to admit, hey, it fell off a cliff hard and crashed and burned. Appreciate it, Nick. Just our resolutions. If you have any resolutions of your own you think ours suck, let us know in the comments below. Hope you have a great 2021. Just a couple of the things that we would like to see. Happy New Year, everybody, and we will see you next time.
Happy New Year.
Pleasure's all yours, Bucky boys.